and me for the win. This is game 2 between wonderbread and me for the win. Wonderbread is spawning here as the pink Zerg player once again. Me for the win going to be spawning at the bottom position as the orange Terran player. This is Zelnaga Caverns, and this is the Collegiate Master Star League sponsored by SteelSeries and Monster Energy Drink. Check out SteelSeries at steelseries.com. And this is also Aegis. You can check out my channel at youtube.com/AegisStarcraft2. Again, a reminder is that Wonderbread did veto Jungle Bazed, and Me for the Win did veto Steps of War. And the loser does get to choose the map. Me for the Win is going to be walling in once again with the supply depot. We'll see if he decides to go for that same fast expand build that he did in the last game. It did leave him somewhat unprepared for the Roach bust. We'll see if he's able to prepare for that in this game. Does look like Wonderbread is moving his Overlord out into the middle of the map. We'll be able to provide some scouting information later on in the match. It is moving to this location for sure. Yep, there it is, the little green dot indicating the movement pattern of that Overlord. It also looks like Wonderbread is looking to secure a... Nope, he's not. Looks like he's going to be scouting with that one drone. And using the second drone to go grab the natural expansion. It does look like he loves that economic build. Going to be throwing down that hatch. Me for the Win does see that. We'll see how he responds to that. Maybe go for 2 racks and then some sort of bunker rush. We'll see if he decides to do that, but we do have the gas coming up for Me for the Win and no cancel on it, so it does look like he is going to play standard. Wonderbread is going to scout into Me for the Win's base right now. Is going to probably try to harass that SCV. That SCV is getting brought back to the mineral line, as well as the orbital command coming up. The spawning pool is now coming up for Wonderbread. Definitely want to get some sort of Zerglings for defense, just in case of that rush. Me for the Win is moving his SCV around in the center, getting chased by this one drone over here. Looks like a gas steal is underway for Wonderbread. Going to be obnoxious, canceling and rebuilding that gas continuously. Going to get some information on exactly how many Marines are out here. These things actually have quite a wide range of view once they're constructed, but I guess it does see just the Marine right now. Wonderbread's Overlord is finally making it over there, as well as the first Queen on the way for him at the main base. Wonderbread is a player from College Park, and this event was also I guess C Star League event. You can check out the Collegiate Star League at cstarleague.com. Always great to support them because they do offer great competition. A Roach Warren coming up once again. Wonderbread, the same build. It looks like a Queen is also coming up at the natural expansion, selecting those larvae. We'll see what he decides to do. It looks like that Queen is going to poop out a creep tumor first. He knows exactly how much larva he needs, so he's going to go ahead and get that first. Looks like Me for the Win is not going, or yeah, he is going for the same build. He's got the command center coming up. He's finally killed off the extractor and is now building his own refinery. Going to be grabbing a barracks after the factory. Looks like he's going for the exact same thing. We'll see if he's successful with this build in this game. The Roach Warren has now completed. We'll see if Wonderbread decides to begin making roaches. He does have additional creep tumors starting to creep up the entire map. There's a Reaper over here trying to get some kills. It was unsuccessful in this game, I believe. Select. Oh wow, actually 2 kills this game. Slightly more successful than last game. We'll see if that's able to push him over the top. There's one Zergling over here nibbling away at the tech lab. Not going to be able to take out the Stimpack research. Does look like Me for the Win's command center is now complete. Should be upgrading that to an orbital command shortly. Yep, and there is the orbital command coming up, as well as another barracks. Going to be grabbing a reactor on the second barracks. Going to be getting out a lot of M&M to deal with the Zerg. Wonderbread is making some Zerglings now, some Roaches in the mix for his army. Probably not going to be going for any kind of bust like last game. It doesn't look like a huge surge of Roaches is coming up. Instead, that we do see drones in the production queue. The Queen continuing to its vomiting action. Going to be getting a ton of drones for the natural expansion. Going to get ahead of the Terran player in terms of economy. It does look like that one Overlord is scouting in here is going to be able to see. Well, isn't it does see everything, actually. He does know about this second orbital command that should be moving out shortly. This one Zergling is going to come over here and perhaps see exactly when that orbital command decides to land. We also have Banelings now out on the field. The Banelings nest has come up over here, and still no lair, so we'll wait to see when that decides to come up. Additional drones being produced. Wonderbread feeling quite safe right now. Does look like a similar push from Me for the Win is coming up. No Hellion this time. Instead, we do have some Marauders going to be adapting to exactly what Wonderbread was doing last game, as he is expecting probably the same build. He's going to be moving his forces into the center of the map. That one Zergling is going to see it. Me for the Win not going to be able to pick that Zergling off, but it does look like a couple of Marines over here going to blast that Zergling to pieces. There's one Zergling over here going to be watching for these destructible rocks. To see when the third base comes up. Wonderbread also has his forces positioned to help defend the Banelings on this side and his Zerglings and Roaches on the other. Does look like that little push out into the center by Me for the Win was to secure his natural expansion, making sure that no pushes were coming from the center. Going to be able to get up his natural expansion. A couple of supply depots going up at the natural. Perhaps it helps constrict some movement spaces. Yep, there's a engineering bay coming up at the backside. Does look like the Marines and Marauders are going to be moving forward along with 3 Siege Tanks. It does look like they're going to meet up with a bunch of Zerglings. Stim going down, going to be able to ward back Wonderbread's impending push. Does look like he brought all of his forces along for that. Wonderbread is now finishing up some drone production. We'll see if he decides to queue up some more army units soon. Yeah, there we go. 4 Zerglings as well as a hatch on the way. Where's that hatch? Yeah, there's a pretty good position. It could be closer to this ramp, going to be able to seal that off. Does look like Wonderbread is moving over here, going to pick off a couple of Marines. Also going to be probably going for the attack. There's not much over here for Me for the Win, but it does look like he's moving over here. Going to be stim back and try to get it away from those Banelings. The Banelings going to be able to take out some of that army, as well as a Siege Tank, but the Siege Tanks did siege up. Going to be able to take out a bunch of Roaches over here. Did lose every single one of those Siege Tanks. It does put him a little bit behind on the Siege Tank production. The Roaches are very cheap and easy to produce, so it doesn't put a Wonderbread that far behind, even though he did lose more minerals in that exchange. Aspire is now on the way for our Zerg player Wonderbread. We'll see if he's going to get out a lot of Mutalisks to help harass. He's grabbing the second gas at his, the 2 gases at his natural expansion, as well as getting 2 evolution chambers and picking off the center destructible rocks. These are armored, so the Zerglings are going to take some time. Me for the Win getting out additional tanks. His Marine Marauder Ball looking healthy once again. Perhaps going to be going for those medevacs sometime in the near future. He is now pumping out plenty of tanks to help his infantry along. Those Zerglings are going to get forced back from the Xel'Naga Watchtower. Wonderbread definitely paying attention to the mini-map, noticing that Me for the Win was moving out, trying to catch some of those Zerglings out of position. A SCV also moving into the center of the map. We'll see what this SCV is going to do. Perhaps going to scout the side bases. No cues on that right now, but it does look like it's going to move over here. You're going to see an Overlord. Wonderbread is going to be paying attention once again. You're going to pick that SCV off. However, Me for the Win is now moving along this side. Going to see if he can find a third base over here. However, Wonderbread is grabbing the gold expansion. If he can hold this for long enough, it will provide him a huge amount of income and to be able to overpower the Terran army. It does look like Me for the Win is moving over here, going to siege up the tanks and then unsiege again. Perhaps going to go for some sort of move on this hatchery, but nope, he decides to pull back. Looks like he's going to pick off the destructible rocks on